How to drink cold brew coffee. Not to be confused with iced coffee, coffee served with ice. Cold brew coffee is coffee that is brewed cold. Cold brew coffee has grown in popularity due to its full-bodied and bold flavor. It's also less acidic and easier to consume than traditional coffee brewed with hot water. Making your own cold brew coffee does take some time but is a delicious and easy way to make coffee that can be consumed cold or hot and customized to your liking. Method 1. Making your own basic cold brew coffee. Number 1. Measure and mix the coarsely ground coffee with cold or room temperature water. The ratio of ground coffee to water will vary depending on personal taste. A good place to start is to use the basic formula of 1 pound of ground coffee for every 1 gallon of water, and increase or decrease the amount of ground coffee to find your desired flavor strength. Number 2. Cover the ground coffee and water mixture and let it rest at room temperature for 12 to 24 hours. You can let the mixture sit out covered overnight, but make sure you let it rest for at least 12 hours so that the coffee has time to brew completely. For stronger coffee, increase the amount of time you let the mixture rest, up to 24 hours. Number 3. Separate the coffee grounds from the mixture using a large coffee filter or mesh strainer lined with cheesecloth. Now that the mixture has had ample time to rest, your coffee has been cold brewed and you are ready to remove the remaining coffee grounds from the mixture. There are a few ways that you can separate the coffee grounds to avoid any unwanted grainy texture. Here are a few suggestions. Number 4. Chill the filtered or strained cold brew coffee and serve with ice. Once all of the coffee grounds have been separated from the liquid, you will have a fresh batch of cold brew coffee ready to be chilled. Once the cold brew coffee is chilled to your desired temperature, serve with ice and enjoy. Method 2. Making cold brew coffee variations. Number 1. Add milk or a dairy-free milk alternative to your cold brew coffee to cut the bitterness. If black coffee is not your thing, adding milk and/or a milk alternative is a great way to make cold brew coffee that is creamy and smooth. Whether you are enjoying your coffee hot or cold, you can add milk or a milk alternative to your cold brew coffee. Number 2. Heat up your cold brew for a more traditional style hot cup of coffee. Hot cold brew coffee has a similar taste to your more traditional coffee brewed hot but with significantly less acidity and bitterness. Heated cold brew coffee might pack less of a punch from your usual hot coffee, but it will make for a smooth, flavorful, and delicious warm drink. Number 3. Add in additional ingredients for a fancy cafe-style drink. By adding any milk or creamer, sugar, syrup, or spices to your cold brew coffee, you can recreate your favorite fancy cafe drink at home, usually for much cheaper. If you are feeling extra fancy, you can learn how to your own simple syrup or sweet cream to add to your cold brew coffee for a delicious homemade version. Number 4. Use a blender and add a handful of ice for a blended coffee drink. Use your blender and add a handful of ice to your cold brew coffee and any desired ingredients to make a blended iced coffee drink that is typically cheaper and healthier than at a cafe. Number 5. Mix up a cold brew coffee cocktail or mocktail by adding alcohol or mixes. If you are looking for new and interesting ways to drink cold brew coffee, making a cold brew coffee cocktail or mocktail might fit the bill. Number 6. Make a cold brew coffee dessert to satisfy your sweet tooth. Just like traditional coffee brewed hot, cold brew can be used to make some delicious desserts. With only 1 cup of cold brew coffee, 3 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk, a set of popsicle molds and sticks, you can freeze and serve some delightful cold brew coffee popsicles in a matter of hours.